this point, we are going to come down all the way onto our mats. Let's start down in Shavasana. So we'll take ourselves flat on our backs. Take some time too if you need a little bit of time to get into that position. Good. All right. So as we come down into our relaxation pose, I want you to be comfortable. The beginning of the class should be a time for us to take that body scan, working just like an X-ray machine or an MRI, scanning every part of our body, checking in with how that feels. It's also a good time to set your intention. So you may or may not understand what intention means. So in yoga, we set an intention or a purpose for the class. So I am doing yoga today because I need some self-care. I need some me time. Or maybe it's because I need to stretch. Maybe it's because you're feeling sad and you want to feel happy, or you're feeling stressed and you want to feel calm. Whatever your intention is, and wherever we're at in the program, if you find yourself questioning whether you should pull harder, push deeper, or go into child's pose and relax instead, just check back in with your intention. And if today was just because you need some me time, some time out, maybe you don't need to push yourself into that next level stretch. Instead, you just want to take a few moments and take a few deep breaths. So now that we've had a little bit of time to think about whether we have our intention set for today or not, I want you to start breathing a little bit deeper. So we're laying on the ground, we've got those shoulders rolled into the mat. Likely our palms are facing up to the ceiling, just down by our sides. If your head is kind of kinked, see if we can get it right to the flat base. Nose is pointing straight up to the ceiling. And we're starting to allow our belly to expand. Now, as you continue to breathe, I want everyone just to take a few really intentional, so again, that's with purpose, breath. Noticing with your inhale, that belly rising up a little bit higher, the rib cage expanding. And with your exhale, everything melting down just a little bit more. Now with our next inhale, let's bring our arms all the way up over our head. Nice big stretch, just like you've woken up. You're in your bed, you're comfy, cozy, and you're just starting to work through your shoulders, your arms, your back, your stomach. And we'll add in our legs here as we draw the arms around the knees into the chest. Give ourselves that wonderful big hug. Rocking right to left. I love this lower back massage. Nice hug. Starting our practice off with saying thank you to ourselves. Thank you. Good job for showing up. I know that we're all busy, but taking the time anyways to do our yoga class. Now keeping our knees into the chest, let's start to roll through those ankles. Get any cricks and cracks out. Wiggle through those toes. We'll come into that single leg stretch next, keeping a hold of our right knee. Lower our left leg all the way down to the ground. Really press this left leg into the floor and then open the right knee out into that right shoulder slightly. Notice any stretch across the hips. This is very exploratory. We're learning something about how our body feels today. Draw the knee over towards your left shoulder. All right, let's come through the middle and lower that all the way down. We'll bring the left knee into the chest, give it a squeeze, and then open the knee out towards the left shoulder. pressing that right leg down into the ground. Now we're stretching mostly up the left thigh, a little bit across the hips maybe. And then we'll draw that knee across towards the right shoulder. Notice any stretch that we might be feeling through that left hip. And then we'll slowly lower the leg all the way down. Take our time bringing our arms down by our sides. Feet come flat onto the floor. We always place our feet and our knees about hips width distance apart. So as wide as your hip bones, that's about as wide as we want our legs. Coming into those glute bridges, lift our hips up to the ceiling, and then exhale, slowly lower down. Inhale, lift the hips up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. This next one we're going to hold. Inhale, lift up and hold it. Now we can take our hands, interlace them, roll onto the outsides of the shoulders and puff the chest, holding that chest expansion stretch. Open the heart, expose the collar, stretch down the back, keep those feet flat on the floor, knees stacked right on top of the ankles. Take one more big inhale, and exhale, slowly lower down. Okay, take those arms out to the side. And we're going to windshield wiper the knees, just right and left on your own time. Notice how that feels as we use those wipers. We can do one more to each side. And then take our knees into the chest. Let's rock and roll all the way up to sitting. I'm going to take my socks off at this point. So if you had your socks on, maybe you'd like to take them off as well. And we'll work over onto hands and knees. So on hands and knees, let's take those hands directly beneath our shoulders, spread the fingers apart, knees are under hips, pull nice flat backs. We'll take our right arm forward, our left leg back in our spinal balance, and lower down. Inhale, left. Exhale. Inhale, right. Exhale. Inhale, left. Exhale. We'll do one more each side. Inhale, right. Exhale. And inhale, left. Exhale. Hold it here. Thread the needle. Inhale that right arm, open the chest. Exhale, thread all the way underneath, laying into that right shoulder. We can reach the left arm forward or maybe even up to the ceiling. Stretching through the upper back, through that shoulder, right and left maybe. Coming down and back into table. We'll take the other side. Inhale, left arm raise and high. Exhale, thread all the way under, laying into that left shoulder. We can reach the right arm forward or all the way up. Let's really pay attention to where the arm is, what feels best. Remember, there's no expectation. It's a little bit of being playful, figuring out what works for you. Come back into the middle. Happy with that table position as we come into our cats and cows. Inhale, open the chest, look forward. Exhale, round the back, pull the belly button in. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. Lift tall through crown of head. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, lift the belly up. And one more. Inhale, open. And exhale, round. Nice and high. Pushing back into child's pose. Sink those hips as low as they'll go. Reach the arms forward and rest the forehead down. Maybe the forehead's touching the floor, maybe it's not. I want you to check into that. Notice if we can really press our hands into the mat. Help push our bum back a little bit more, stretching through those shoulders down our back. And here we're coming forward into our kneeling plank. So shift the shoulders above the wrists, just ahead of the fingernails, and slowly chaturanga. That slow lower all the way to the mat. Hands are still under shoulder. Let's lift up for baby cobra. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Check in with how that's feeling today. And then from baby cobra, relax to the stomach. Move the hands back towards our rib cage. Lift up for full cobra. Nice big stretch. Really press the hands into the mat, lift the hips up, and open the heart center. So expose the chest. Push back into child's pose. Take a couple big breaths here. And slowly move forward into table again. Setting ourselves up for our very first lunge. This will be runner's lunge, sweeping the right foot up between the hands. We step the foot far enough that our knee is stacked right above our ankle. Foot is flat on the floor. Let's lift ourselves, balance on our knee if you can. Otherwise, you can always keep your hands down if you want to. Shift your whole pelvis forward, keeping your bellies pulled in nice and tight, opening up through that left hip. Now today, I want us to take our hands and release them in back of us, rolling those shoulders down. You can keep them here, or as you push them down a little bit more, I like to do index fingers together, and then we can even look up to the ceiling. Couple big breaths. One more big inhale. And exhale, release the arms. Come down, sweep that knee back, finding tabletop position, and we'll sweep the other foot forward. So for most of us, that will be our left foot, stacking knee above the ankle, lifting up if we're able to, and then pulling the belly in, shoulders down. Let's shift the pelvis forward, opening up that right hip flexor this time. Same arm position if we're able to. Interlace those fingers, pull it down, puff the chest, and look up. One more big inhale. And exhale, release the arms. Take the hands down, sweep the knees back, and let's press back into one more child's pose. Big, deep stretch here. Adding in our side stretch in child's pose, we walk those hands to the right edge of the mat, place that left hand on top, and then sit back into our left hip. So we're stretching down the left side of our body. Let's walk all the way through the middle over to the left side. Place that right hand on top, sitting back into our right hip. All right, now coming through the middle, setting ourselves up for downward dog. If you'd rather stay in child's pose, that's fine. If you're coming up to down dog, curl those toes, lift the hips. Press those hips back. Ooh, big stretch up the back of the legs. I'm going to walk the dog, pedaling feet right to left. Feel free to do that as well. Good, and now let's slow the movement of the feet if you were moving them. Try to get those heels in a little bit deeper. We're going to incorporate a bit of a kneeling position, or a hovering position, I should say. So now everyone rise up onto your tippy toes in down dog. So you're way up high on the balls of your feet. Bend your knees so that they almost come to the floor. See how low you can get your bum. Almost touch your knees to the floor. This is your crouching down dog. And then lift the hips up so high again. Straighten out your back. And now, to finish, drop your heels towards the ground. Let's do that one more time now that we've tried it. So we rise high up onto our tippy toes. Draw the knees down towards the floor, that crouching down dog. Now press the hips way up high. Drop the heels down as close to the floor as you can get them. Amazing. At this point, we're going to walk our hands and feet together. Come halfway up into that monkey stretch. Flat back. Pull those hands right up to the shins, maybe up to the thighs if that's more comfortable today. Notice how flat you can get your back. Imagine that tray of Christmas cookies staying on top of your back. Don't let anything fall off. Now let's shift our weight into our heels, reach our hands forward. We're finding our chair pose. Flat back, sit down into your heels, activate those thigh muscles. Big inhale, lift up nice and tall. And exhale, relax. Very good, everybody. At this point, if you'd like to grab a drink of water, go ahead and do that. I'm going to help myself to a quick drink. We're going to go through our sun salutations. So with our sun sals today, we'll go through a couple of different options or a couple different variations. So if everyone wants to move to the top of their mat, there you go. Very top of our mat here. Let's start with our arms down by our side, standing tall in mountain pose, Tadasana. Feet are about hips width distance apart. Feeling very strong, connected to the ground. Head is very tall. Take a couple of big breaths here. Soften your knees. Inhale, lift our hands all the way up above head to prayer. Now exhale, swan dive, hinging from our hips, down into forward fold. Come halfway up to monkey. Down into forward fold. Step back to plank or tabletop with your inhale. Exhale, push back into down dog. Inhale, forward into plank. We can take our knees to the floor if you'd prefer. As we exhale, chaturanga, that slow lower. Good. Inhale, cobra stretch. Baby or full, whatever feels better today. Push back with your exhale, down dog or child's pose. Now inhale, step or jump those feet up between your hands. Coming halfway up to monkey. Flat back. Good, bend those knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive, lift nice and tall. Exhale, sweep sitting into chair. Now we're going to go a little bit differently. So this time, lift up all the way. But now I want you to interlace your fingers like we did before. Press your hands up to the ceiling, big reach, big reach. Reach up to the ceiling, look up high. Soft knees, pull your bellies in, big inhale last time. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Good, from here, let's step our left foot all the way back into a lunge. We'll take that left knee all the way down to the floor in your runner's lunge. Now, coming up onto your thigh, we reach our arms all the way up again, interlace those fingers, lift up high, bellies in. Push your hips forward, open the chest, lengthen the back. One more big inhale. Exhale, release the hands down. Step the knee back, holding tabletop. Inhale, open up into your cow pose. Hold that cow stretch, open the chest. Good, and now round up nice and high all the way up to cat. And we'll kick that left foot forward, sweeping it into the lunge. And now again, coming up onto our thigh so we can repeat that big stretch, hands above the head with runner's lunge, left foot. Reach those hands up, shift forward, shoulders down, opening the chest. Big deep stretch, holding those hands, trying to get the palms up towards the ceiling. One more big inhale. Exhale, release the hands down, sweep the knee back. Let's press back into down dog. Go through that flow. Inhale, forward into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, press back into down dog. Inhale, walk. Those feet all the way up between the hands. Coming halfway up to monkey. Softening those knees. Inhale, hold the arms up here, interlace the fingers. One more big stretch up to the ceiling. Soft knees, belly in. Make sure the bum's tucked under. Always working on alignment. One more big inhale here. And release with your exhale. Roll those shoulders down. Very good, everybody. At this point, we're going to return to the top of our mat. Take that big inhale. Exhale, swan dive. Holding your forward fold. Slowly come all the way back into plank position. Good. We're back in plank. Excellent. Lower yourself with that chaturanga. Now, taking the arms out to the side, we'll come into one of our favorite chest stretches, that scorpion. Take your right hand underneath your right shoulder, bend your right knee or both knees, and roll over that left arm. Trying to get your knees up to the ceiling, your feet on the floor, but if you just want to have your right knee bent, that's okay. You don't have to push very far, and you are in charge of your pose. So whenever you need to come out of it, you can do that before I say so. Give yourself permission to do so. Let's lower onto our stomach, readjust, hands come out to the side. Taking that left hand underneath, bend the left knee or both knees and roll over the right arm. Nice big deep breaths. And slowly come onto the stomach again. Taking those hands underneath. Let's lift all the way up. Cobra stretch. Good, and push back into down dog or child's pose. You pick, whichever one you'd prefer. Slowly coming into tabletop. I'm going to ask us to come into a seated position for a moment. Now, in the seated position, we're going to practice a specific form of breathing. And this yoga breathing is called Nostril, or alternating nostril breathing. So I have to give you just a little bit of a lesson first. So hopefully you're comfortable in how you're sitting. Okay. So why we're doing alternating nostril breathing is because I want to activate a little bit of our heart chakra today. So if you're aware of your chakras, you know that there are 7 and they go from your root or your base up to your belly button, your sternum, your heart, your throat, your mouth, your eyebrow, and your top of head. So we have 7 that come upwards. The one that I've been kind of looking at today, because I think we all need a little love, a little feeling and ability to express ourselves a bit better. So we're working a bit at our heart. So you may have noticed we did a lot of opening up our chest today, which is one way that we can give a little bit more energy and attention to this area of our body. So with our breathing, hopefully what we're able to do is work on a very slow, purposeful breath, which can really help just clear our mind, right? Get a better idea of how we're feeling emotionally, right? If we're really frazzled, or if we're really scared, or if we're really sad, we're able to settle those feelings so that this part of our brain is working a little bit better rather than all up here. So what I need you to do is just sit comfortably. Sit super tall. I think most of us are in that position. And I want you to take kind of these cool surfer hands. So you've got your thumb and you've got your pinky. And what you're going to do is you'll use your thumb to close your right nostril, which kind of seems silly, so it's kind of fun too. So you'll use your thumb to close your right nostril, and then you're going to use your pinky finger to close your left nostril. So that being said, we're going to take turns closing our right, breathing in through the left, and then we'll close the left and breathe out through the right. Then we'll breathe in through the right, close it, breathe out through the left. So I'll try my best to explain it clearly so you're not confused. If ever you get confused, just return to a normal breath. Or if you have a cold and your nose is all stuffy and you sound like this, you can just breathe normal. Good? Just something fun to do today to make sure that we are really practicing good breathing. So everyone with your surfer fingers or your pretend telephone, let's take our right nostril and close it. Take a big inhale through your left nose until your lungs are full. Now close your left nose and breathe out your right. Breathe in on the right, all the way until your lungs are closed. Close your right nostril and breathe out through your left. Breathe in, close it, and breathe out. Breathe in, close it, breathe out. Breathe in all the way. Close it. Breathe out. Breathe in. Close it. Breathe out. One more time. Breathe in. Close it. And breathe out. Good. That was our alternating nostril breathing exercise. Very well done. We have just 2 more exercises that we're going to do, and they require us to lay on our backs. So go ahead and get comfy cozy on your back. If you want to put your socks on or your sweaters on, you can do that now too. And we'll come into first. I was asked the other day if I could teach the fish pose. So I'm going to work through our fish pose again. Good, so everyone's laying on our back. Wonderful. So what we'll do is take our legs out straight, take our hands on the ground flat. So our palms are on the ground. Your fingernails are facing up to the ceiling. So with our palms on the ground, I want you to wiggle your hands underneath your bum. That way your bum is you're just sitting on your hands, so they're stuck. Now go ahead and glue your legs together. So your legs are together and you want to point your toes. So we've got our legs squeezed together, our feet pointed, our hands are stuck underneath our bum. Now I want you to try to draw your elbows in underneath your body a little bit so their arms are really close to your body. Now start to puff your chest, bend your elbows as you come up onto the top of your head. Keep your legs straight, your feet pointed. I know it's a lot to think about, but we're really puffing our chest, lengthening our back. Couple big breaths here. One more big inhale. Exhale slowly. Come down, release your arms, gather those knees into your chest. Big hug as we rock side to side. Very good. Our last stretch is going to be our single leg stretch with hamstring purpose. So we'll bring those feet to the ground. Take your right leg all the way up to the ceiling, and you can hold either behind your calf, your thigh, your foot, whatever is comfortable. Try to relax your neck, your shoulders, your face, and go through those slow ankle circles. Now I want everybody to take your right hand, hold your leg, left hand can just come down to the floor. So now with our right hand holding the leg, let's open the leg out to the right into a bit of a straddle. Try to keep your back flat. If it feels better, you can hold under your thigh and bend the knee. Otherwise, keep that leg straight and keep the shin drawing towards your body. And now we'll slowly bring that leg up. I want you to take your left hand, grab onto the leg. Your right hand can come down to the floor this time. Draw the leg across midline. So just a little bit over to the left. It might be a lot. For me, it's barely at all. And you want to, again, try to keep that leg straight. Keep it drawing towards the body. Feeling where you're feeling a stretch, how much you're feeling. We'll come up through the middle, hug that knee into the chest, give it a squeeze, and gently set the foot down on the floor. We'll do the other side, okay? Let's bring the left leg in and up, holding on anywhere that left leg's comfortable, trying again to get the leg relatively straight, and then we can start to go through those slow circular motions with the feet. You can go both directions if you want. And if you ever feel like you've hit a really good spot, you can hold your foot in that position and take a couple of breaths. We're going to get ready to come into that straddle. So we hold on to the leg with your left hand, lowering the other arm to the floor. Open that left leg out to the left. Trying again to keep the leg straight, the body on the floor. But if it feels better to bend the knee, you can do that. We're noticing any stretch or any sensation through the inner left thigh. Now slowly drawing that leg up through the middle, switch hands. So now I'm holding on to the leg with my right hand, and I'll draw the leg, not that far, just a little bit across the midline. Again, if you need to change your foot position to make the stretch more or less intense, you can play with that. Remember to breathe. We'll come through the middle, gently hug the knee into the chest, and lower that leg down. And then I just want to finish with a spinal twist. So we can straighten out our legs, bring our arms out to the side, lift the right knee up 90 degrees, and lower that leg over to the left. Looking over the right arm if we're able to, keeping the shoulders pressing down into the floor. Inhale, lifting the knee up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift the left knee. Exhale, lower to the right. And again, try to keep that shoulder down on the floor. Look over the left arm. Coming up through the middle and slowly lower, taking yourself into your relaxation pose. We could roll the shoulders down into the mat. You can hold onto your belly, your heart, or rest your hands down on the floor. I want you to close your eyes if that's something that you're able to do today. Try to relax your shoulders, your neck, your face. And we'll stay here for a few moments. And as we stay here, I'm going to read a little bit of a meditation script to help you focus. So as we're laying down, just keep your eyes closed. Think about your breathing. And what I want you to do is imagine a bright white light just floating right on top of your head, right above your head. And from this white light, we're going to play with picking out some colors. So the first color is red. And the red color is coming from our crown chakra, which is right at the top of our head. And then I want you to see that red light coming all the way down your spine, so the center of your body. And it goes all the way down into your tailbone, which is your first chakra. Very bright, nice Christmas red. Now I want you to hold that color in that first chakra, so right in the tailbone. Notice how that feels to think about the color red. Maybe that's something that you really like. Maybe it's not really doing anything today. Next, I want you to come back up to that crown chakra, right at that white bright light. I want you to pull the color orange, our London Aquatic Club bright orange. And I want you to now pull that and let it run down through your body, noticing how that bright orange feels. Bring it all the way down into your belly. So this is your second chakra. Bring it into your belly. Notice how that feels. Coming back up into that bright white light, I want you to find a golden yellow. Beautiful yellow. Pull it all the way down into your rib cage. Imagine that warm golden yellow coming up through your solar plexus or in through the center of where the ribs are meeting. Next, we're coming up to the heart. So we pull that bright white light, we pull green out of the light and we come into our heart. Feel how this beautiful evergreen Christmas green feels with you today, filling your heart. Feel it wash over you, bringing with you a sense of love and peace for everyone, for the world, for you, for your family. It's like a beautiful emerald glow around the heart. Next, we come back up to that white disc above the head and we find a beautiful bright blue. So our other London Aquatic Club color, let's find that beautiful bright blue. Pull it down into your throat chakra. And in our throat, I want it to soothe your throat. If you have a sore throat, or if you feel like you haven't been able to explain yourself, or you just can't find the words, let it soothe your throat. And just relax your arms and shoulders while you're thinking of that right now. Feel those blue rays extending all around your throat, communicating with everyone around you. Now we come to the third eye itself. So kind of right in between our eyebrows, right above our nose. And I want you to think of that deep indigo blue. So I always think of the lakes. My favorite lake is Lake Huron. Maybe you have a favorite lake or a body of water. Think of that deep, beautiful water color. And that's right in between our eyes. And I want you to feel how happy that body of water makes you. Now, lastly, coming up to that crown chakra with that beautiful white light, we're pulling into a vibrant violet. And that vibrant violet is going to resonate right where you wear your crown, right at the top of your head, energizing and balancing all of the other 6 chakras that we just focused on. Now, I want you to think about which color meant the most to you, or which color you feel you just got it, you understood it, or maybe it just sat with you a little bit longer. That's the color that I want you to hold on to. So I'll go through them again. We had the red of the first chakra near our tailbone, the orange in the belly. Then we had that yellow in the ribs. We had the green at our heart. We had the bright blue at our throat. We had that nice indigo blue in our third eye. And then we had that beautiful vibrant violet right at the top of our head. If one of them seemed really strong, that's probably the one that you either need the most of. So maybe if your green felt really good, let's just focus on opening our heart a little bit more. If you felt like you really didn't have very much blue in your throat, maybe think about that for a little bit longer too. So that was just a fun meditation that we were doing to think about, while the world around us is getting a little bit chaotic, we do have the ability to control with some breathing exercises, with some meditation, and with some stretching. And we can do that all together whenever we need to. So I'll ask you to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, work through your wrists, work through your ankles, and slowly come back up so we can say our final goodbye together. Take your time. If you're feeling really sleepy right now, that's okay. If you're feeling like you maybe have a better idea of your intention or a better idea of what you need to work on, that's really good too. So as we sit up really super nice and tall, let's roll those shoulders down. Take a big inhale, lift our hands all the way up above our head to prayer. Exhale down through heart center. Namaste. Thank you very much, everybody. And Merry Christmas.